All right. Hi, Sarah. How are you? So great to see you. How are things going?
Everything's great. I'm really good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing well. It's always a good day when I get to speak to you. So, congratulations. Okay, this movie, like seriously, I think I had to watch it twice almost because it's so confusing. I mean, but it all comes together and it just works so well. And I wanted to know when you were presented with this script, Sarah, like what was your initial reaction to it?
I just loved it so much when I read it. I mean, I think that it's so rare to read something that feels wholly original,
Yeah.
uh, especially in the age of content making where things are always adapted from. There are always literary adaptations, or they're remakes, or they're franchises. And I read this and I thought, I haven't read anything like this ever before. I
Yeah.
fell in love with the inherent tension and nuance of the relationship dynamics in it. And I just thought this is going to be such a wild movie to make. I have to be a part of it.
Absolutely, because it's kind of like a movie within a movie. You don't really know where it's going, and you find out like it's kind of like a two-parter play in a way. Did you feel that it was very, very theatrical in terms of being a live play? Did it feel like that? Maybe you?
Well, I knew that in the first half of the movie, there are some really kind of long scenes.
Yeah.
And so I knew that the way we would shoot them, it would feel very theatrical in that sense. And what I love so much about the movie is halfway there's a kind of break from reality, and all the power dynamics and all the roles kind of shift. And even though they're two kind of separate parts, they're
Mhm.
very much in dialogue with each other. So yeah, I really love that about the script as well.
Yeah. Now, it's funny because when we first meet your character, you and Christopher Abbott, already like the tensions are like if you're headbutting like right from the beginning, and all I'm thinking is, oh yeah, this is a marriage or relationship that's gonna go real far. Like they're just at each other. Like she's always picking on whatever he has to say. I love it. I love it. Right?
I feel like we've all sat at that dinner with a couple that, their relationship is imploding. They shouldn't be together.
Yeah.
You kind of have front row seats of the deterioration, which I think Larry captures so well in the writing and filming of this. Luckily, I knew Chris really well before we started shooting, and we were friends, so I didn't have any qualms with like taking swings at him right off the bat of shooting, which was really nice because sometimes when you don't know somebody very well, you're afraid
Right.
to go there. But luckily, I knew him well enough that I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's go.
I was going to ask because I understand I was doing a little bit of reading, and I understand that you guys, all three of you, Chris, and Aubrey, all stayed at the same hotel. Like you weren't in different places, and we'll talk about the location in a second. But how important was that you kind of just kind of needed to be together?
Well, it was one of those situations where we all arrived at, shooting, and we were kind of staying really close to this remote lake house where we were shooting,
Yeah.
which had no cell service, no Wi-Fi. I was living in a log cabin and had no lock on my door. Chris was in this motel that had no air conditioning, and the three of us got together and said, okay, so the closest hotel is 1 hour away. I guess we should all just stay at this hotel. We'll drive into work together
Yeah.
and we'll just commit to the commute and do it so we can have a shower and a lock and some Wi-Fi at the end of the day. But because of that, we were isolated, the three of us together, and we were shooting 5 weeks of nights. So we would wake up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, get together at 3, run our lines, and then Chris would drive us all into work, and then we'd shoot all night with no cell
Wow.
service or no Wi-Fi. And then at the end, in the morning, around 5 o'clock in the morning, we'd drive the hour back, and it was became almost like this dreamlike routine where we would be driving back through the mountains, and the mists would be coming off the lake, and the sun would be rising, and we'd be just totally
Yeah.
from beating each other up at work, and then we would just get up and repeat.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. I did. Oh God, I want to go stay at that place. It's gorgeous
It
location.
was so gorgeous. It was in the Adirondack Mountains and really close to Lake Placid. It's beautiful.
Gorgeous. Now, tell me a little bit about working with Aubrey because it's a little bit different from what we've seen from her too. I mean, look, she does drama. We know her for her comedic takes on things, but she really went all out for this role. Like, I mean, it looked exhausting just watching you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we were all pretty physically and emotionally wrecked by the end of the movie. And I also knew Aubrey before we started shooting, and I think we were all really fascinated by exploring what creative relationships can be and how they can become so toxic. And
Mm.
I was really excited to do the film because I knew that Aubrey and Chris would bring such different and unique dynamics to their characters. And it was a challenge because it's a three-hander. There's a lot of dialogue. There's a
Mhm.
lot of nuance in the dialogue. And I was just so happy to go to work with two other performers whose work I deeply respect and who I just knew it would be so much fun to play with.
Yeah, you were saying, obviously it was a challenge. Was there a scene, a particular moment in, shooting that really challenged you guys on set, a particular day?
So I think the dinner scene and then the scene that leads into the foxtrot scene was really, those were the real kickers because there was, they were like 10-page scenes, 10, 12-page scenes,
Wow.
and it's all dialogue. And it was just it's also when you're shooting that, often when you're doing a play you do it once and that's it. But
Yeah.
doing it for coverage and the master, and so it becomes like this real test of endurance
Mhm.
between the three of you getting these really long takes in. And so they were really challenging.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I loved it. I think it's the kind of movie you can watch over and over and see different things.
Well, yeah, and I think we're all feeling the intensity of isolation right now and
Yes.
the intensity of being by ourselves or being with just one other person. And so tensions are high. And I feel like weirdly, although this film, won't really have the, we premiered this film at Sundance at the beginning of the year when life was normal.
Yeah.
Although the film won't have a theatrical, life in the way that we'd hoped, I weirdly think it's almost better that people are watching this kind of movie in isolation and the intensity of their own homes.
Absolutely. With a glass of wine. Yeah, I'm there again for sure. I know right now you're in North Bay. I'm so excited because you are actually filming one of my absolute favorite books, All My Puny Sorrows. Had you read the book before, and how exciting is it to be working on this project?
Number one, I'm so excited and grateful to be working at all this year when
Yeah,
so many artists are not working. So I feel really lucky and grateful to have a job. But I was such a huge fan of Miriam Taves and her writing before I came on to do this project, and I love this book. This book is obviously a really personal book for Miriam. And
mhm.
I think we're all here making this, small film, being grateful and appreciative that we're going to work, but also with the weight of that responsibility and that we all have to Miriam and her family making this story.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I can't wait for it. I know you're just starting, but I'm so excited to see it. Well, listen, always, like I say, always lovely to talk to you, Sarah. Congratulations on Blackberry. I always love seeing what you do. And just happy holidays to you, and keep
Thank
healthy
you
and safe.
so much for watching the film and for taking the time to talk to me. I really appreciate it.
Are you kidding? I watch anything that you do. You want to read the phone book? I'm there to help you promote it.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Okay. Take care. Always lovely to see you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.